Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Robbins, and I am broadcasting from the Temple of Silence here in Luoma, Finland, near Helsinki. I'm substituting for my wife, Tuija Robbins, who usually does these broadcasts. This is part of our Ask project. Ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be open to you. So it's a project of invocation. The human race, especially the disciples of the race, have to learn to become consciously invocative. And that is our goal, so that we can scientifically demand, call for the higher energies which will be of great value to humanity in making the transition into the age of Aquarius, and especially during the age of Aquarius as well, which will be a very dramatic time for entry into the fifth kingdom of nature of quite a few of the members of the human race. Well, today our meditation is a reflective meditation on attracting money for hierarchical purposes. And so I think without further ado, we will begin. In the preamble to this work, in the minutes running up to it, there were some suggestions offered, but I will repeat them aloud so that we may have the similar mindset about the value of that flowing golden substance that we call money. So the Tibetan makes some suggestions. He says, this meditation is so simple that many of you may regard it as innocuous and perhaps futile. Used by many simultaneously, it may shatter the impasse which at present prevents adequate funds pouring into the work which the hierarchy seeks to accomplish. We learn that the hierarchy works also through normal monetary channels and does not use special occult techniques to generate money. This is the responsibility of humanity, and as the Christ has said, by human hands and human feet shall the new age be brought into existence. The Tibetan goes on, he says, do this meditation every Sunday morning. Well, we cannot make sure that it's a Sunday morning all over the world. Right now it is the evening time in the United States. It is morning here in Finland, and it's the evening or afternoon in Australia, New Zealand. He says that we should take what we have saved during the previous week, and that involves an act of conscious saving, and dedicate it to the work and present it in meditation to the Christ and his hierarchy. And this is such an important statement, whether the sum is large or small. It can become an attractive and magnetic unit in the Master's plan. So we have well to remember that. We say, well, what difference can I make with the little amount that I can put towards the great work? But if everybody will drop that particular attitude, adequate sums will flow into the work which the Masters seek to see accomplished. Then the important occult law, which we are to realize, to those who give shall be given, so that they can give again. And we think about that, you know. We pour forth everything we have in a wisely generous manner. We create a vacuum, and into that vacuum flows the energy which makes possible the continuation of the process of generous giving. So those are the preparatory thoughts. And we enter now the meditation proper. We link up with each other all over the world, whatever time of day it may be, wherever we may be within our personality, we are together in a unity. We're working together, overcoming the usual time and space factors. We're in the same cyber room, so to speak, all at the same time and all within the same space. So we achieve that positive and intended personality quietness, and we formulate clearly to ourselves and in our own words the answers to the following questions. We really are responsible here for coming up with an answer in our own way to these questions. If money is one of the most important things needed today for spiritual work, what is the factor, or what are the factors which presently are deflecting it away from the work of the hierarchy? What causes this deflection? And then we ask ourselves, what is my personal attitude towards money? Do I regard it as a great and possible spiritual asset, or do I think of it in material terms? And then the third point, what is my personal responsibility in regard to money which passes through my hands? Am I handling it as a disciple of the Masters should handle it? enter the general second stage of the meditation, let us ponder on the redemption of humanity through the right use of money. At first, we visualize money in the world today as concretized energy, at present largely used for material purposes and for the satisfaction, where the individual is concerned, of purely personal desires. We visualize money as a great stream of flowing golden substance passing out of the control of the forces of materialism and into the control of the forces of light. And then we say the following invocative prayer with focused mental concentration and from a heartfelt desire to meet spiritual demands. First, I'll put this up in English, and then those who are from Finland, I'll put the text up, and we English-speaking people can remain in silence pondering on the invocative prayer. O Thou, in whom we live and move and have our being, the power that can make all things new, turn to spiritual purposes the money in the world. Touch the hearts of men everywhere, so that they may give to the work of the hierarchy that which has hitherto been given to material satisfaction. The new group of world servers needs money in large quantities. I ask that this potent energy of thine be in the hands of the forces of light. And so we ponder this, and the finished wording is next presented. And then we visualize the work to be done by those groups which claim our present allegiance, whatever they may be, any group which you know is attempting to carry out the hierarchical plan. We can name these groups to ourselves and see their work. And then we apply the creative imagination, and by an act of the will, we see untold and unlimited sums of money pouring into the hands of those who seek to do the Master's work. Then we say aloud, with conviction and with emphasis, He for whom the whole world waits has said that whatsoever shall be asked in His name, and with faith in the response, will see it accomplished. We do this with faith, remembering as we do that, in the words of St. Paul, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Then we focus specifically and we say to ourselves, I ask the needed money for, and we name the groups or impulses which we want to fund. I ask the needed money for and can demand it. Can demand it because from the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. We close with a careful consideration of our own responsibility to the divine plan. And each week we plan our financial cooperation with the hierarchy, being practical and realistic, and knowing that if we do not give, we may not ask, for we have no right to evoke that which we do not share. And we attempt to feel true love sweeping through us. And we have the fixed intention to express that love to all whom we may contact. It is the great attractive and selfless agent in the world affairs. We have gathered in your name, Lord Maitreya. Be with us. And may we be with the spiritual hierarchy of our planet and their plans for the upliftment of humanity and all kingdoms, their plans to promote the progress of our little non-sacred planet towards sacredness. Our work ahead will now be done in the evening, beginning at 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. London has daylight saving time at the moment, so it's 6 p.m. there, but we use the universal time as the reference. So starting Wednesday with the triangles work, Thursday with the reappearance of the Christ, Friday a webinar, not a broadcast, and you have the link for that for the next 7 programs or so. And then the Saturday, invoking the soul of nations, and Sunday, attracting money for hierarchical purposes. So next week is the afternoon time. Thank you for joining Tuya and me. And we are working together in meditation in a consistent manner whenever we can, and when the internet allows us to come through with clarity. We work to promote the strengthening of the inner subjective life and the summoning, the invocation of those energies which humanity so desperately needs at this time, because the transformation has to occur from the inside out. What we do in the outer world is very important, but without the subjective underpinning, the subjective sustainment, the right spiritual energies entering the consciousness of those who act, then we will not be sufficiently successful. We will close with the ancient world prayer, the Gayatri. O thou who givest sustenance to the universe, from whom all things proceed, to whom all things return, unveil to us the face of the true spiritual sun, hidden by a disk of golden light, that we may know the truth and do our whole duty as we journey to thy sacred